G'day, my name's Eamon, and today we're really excited to announce our PF120 high bandwidth NDI box camera. Here it is. Here at BirdDog, we've already delivered to the world the most complete range of high bandwidth NDI PDC cameras, and today we're really proud to expand that lineup into the box camera category with our PF120. Shipping now, the PF120 delivers resolutions up to 1080p 60 and is perfect for live streaming, educational facilities, medical applications, boardrooms, live sports productions, live events, and just so much more. At the heart of the PF120 is a Sony Exmor R sensor, which is teamed up with BirdDog's custom NDI silicon implementation, which gives unmatched picture quality. There is a full colour matrix available with an incredible 64 positions of red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow for both hue and saturation controls. And yes, Toby, there's also Kelvin control in there too. All of these amazing colour tools found in the PF120 can be controlled by our free Cam Control software. This is a software that enables you to access all of the features of the camera remotely, and you can control all of the colour tools and colour match cameras literally in seconds. Okay, so now let's take a look at the hardware. In the PF120 we have a super high quality 20 times zoom lens. We've incorporated a 49mm thread on the front, so you can use your favourite filters including UVs, polarizers, NDs, and much more. There is also a large tally light on the front that just works when connected to any NDI production system. Moving around to the back of the PF120, we have a high bandwidth NDI connection which is delivered over an RJ45. This can also be used for powering the camera via PoE+. There is a HDMI which works at the same time as high bandwidth NDI, and there's also a USB UVC connector, so you can use the PF120 with your favourite video conferencing application. We also have a secondary connector over RJ45 for RS232 control. We have 3.5mm audio inputs and outputs, and a locking power supply connector. The PF120 ships with a global power supply. On the bottom of the PF120 are standard tripod mounts including a 1/4 inch 20 and a 3/8 inch thread for maximum mounting flexibility. There's also an anti-rotation pinhole as well. PF120 is shipping globally through our network of resellers, and for more information on this amazing little camera, just head on over to BirdDog's website.
Here we go!
Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is BirdDog John, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios, it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? You're just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. Feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully you are doing well, and welcome back to a brand new year. 2023, we're ready for it. Let's go. Yeah, it's been a good little break, and now we're back, and there is a mountain of work to get through. So thanks for that, everybody. Appreciate that, keeping us employed, and as always, we are working to get those tickets and questions answered. So appreciate that the Steam didn't slow down while we were out on break, but we were out on break. We took a week or so to be with our families and friends, and it was a good time. So We're back at it today. Today's the first day back in the office. Yesterday was New Year's Day observed. Since it falls on a weekend here in the U.S., they push those to weekdays to basically give us an excuse to have another day off. So that was nice, and we were definitely took advantage of that. And the guys are now busy answering tickets. Senseless is here in the chat. Senseless is, hey, it's John. I'm tired. Yes, and Senseless apparently. So yeah, they're working through that stuff, and I think that there was like plus 70 or 80 tickets in the desk when I showed up this morning, and some of the agents had already been working for like an hour or more at that point. So yeah, bravo, kudos to you on the first day back. Anyways, give us some time to get through those. If you have a ticket in at the desk, give us a few. Let's just be honest, a couple of days to at least circle back with you and get a conversation started or get you an answer, whatever it is that you're after, and we'll sort that out. So give us a couple of days. We're back at it today. Happy New Year, everybody. Jason is first in the chat today. Happy New Year. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Transmission, what's going on, man? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Hey, John, Happy New Year to you all. Oh, I appreciate that. That's for everybody in the office, evidently. Not just me. Hey, Brayton's here. Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. Brayton is one of those early to the office type of guys. Pandorica, what's going on? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know if you're at home or in the office today, so thanks for stopping by. It is a new year, folks. We're excited about that, and there is going to be lots to talk about. There is lots to talk about, but there will be this year lots of fun things. I don't know if you were playing along before the end of the year, but you probably noticed several things get updated and posted to the website before the break began. And that was a little nerve-wracking because as a support person, you really hope that we don't push updates right before we're going to be gone for a long period of time. And a week, being closed for a week is the longest we are ever closed. And so we had closed on the Thursday afternoon, and Senseless was doing tickets, and I was in the office. I did the Thursday show, the wrap-up show with Dan and Phil and Monty and Robert, and who else was on that show? CJ showed up on that show. I think Jake was busy that day. I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sure. But anyways, there was a handful of us, and yeah, we had a good little chat and talk through the end of the year, so that was fun. And things to look forward to for next year. So it's always a good turnout when Dan shows up. He was awake. It was like 3 a.m. for him. So that's shout out to him for making an effort to be there. I did throw the invitation out to the executives who are all in Australia, and oddly nobody responded. So he was kind enough to jump in and join us on that day. So I promised him that I would do more Australian-friendly shows, which may be a Wednesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday afternoon, one of those days. But we need to do those like once a month so we can get some Australians on this show, because that's where headquarters is. The majority of this company is in Melbourne, and they don't get any sort of FaceTime at all. So we should probably do that. What's going on, Facebook user? Appreciate you jumping on. Happy New Year. I'm afraid I don't know exactly who that is, but I can certainly look it up. Let's see if it'll show in the comment section. Probably in the user group, right? Martin. Happy New Year. Thanks for jumping on the chat over in Facebook. Hopefully you're doing well. So this show, if you're new or you haven't, you have no idea, or you've been here for a few times and you're not quite sure what it is that we're doing over here, this is a BirdDog chit-chat, sit-down, chin-wag, whatever you want to call it, and we basically answer your questions. They can be about NDI. They can be about BirdDog products. They can be about production stuff. They can be about, we talk about audio. We talk about other products in the industry. We did a webinar watch party one time. Netgear and New Tech and Panasonic all did a webinar, and so we watched that together on here. So it's just kind of a grab bag of a whole bunch of stuff. And want to announce that there's an upcoming show on Thursday. I think I have decided to do a walkthrough of a switch that we got here in the office because a customer asked us about it and we didn't have any experience with it. and we decided to buy one because it wasn't exceptionally expensive, and just to see how it was going to do on an NDI network. Now, we've been loosely testing it for a week or two, but this is none other than the Netgear GS305E as in Edward, PP as in Poly. So EPP, the 305. It is a managed switch. However, it's a smart switch. Everything on paper seems to indicate that it would be okay for a very small install, like 1 or 2 sources. And from our preliminary testing, I tend to agree. I am making a Netgear 4250 manage it, so be the DHCP, but adding it in line with a proper DHCP, so far so good. It's handling 1 or 2 sources. I haven't really overly stressed it very much, which we might do. But on Thursday, I want to actually take a closer look here. So I have the installation guide. I want to take a closer look. It is a 5-port smart managed switch. It is 120 watts. I bought the big one. So it's 120 watts. They're all PoE plus ports, and there are some manageable options. So we're going to look at the web UI and do a few things. So that's Thursday. If you're interested in finding out more about bottom of the barrel switches, I'm going to take a look at the 305, the GS305 EPP on Thursday. So join us on Thursday for that riveting show. Actually, from a networking standpoint, I'm always interested in knowing what people are using. And this one, is kind of, like I said, it's very bottom of the barrel, but it is technically, it says smart in the title, but it has the managed features that I would expect to have on a managed switch. And so, like, from my initial looking through it, it's not an unboxing. I've already unboxed it. We've been testing it a little bit because, quite honestly, I had very low expectations. But we definitely are giving it a go, and we're going to see what we think. So on Thursday, we're going to try that out. And I'm not going to give it a blessing yet because I'm not too sure if I believe in it, but we'll definitely give it a try and see how it goes. So good stuff. Hey, Happy New Year. Curious if you have any documentation on FreeD yet and how to implement it. No. So FreeD is a beta product that is integrated with the NDI5 stuff, but because it's in beta, it's very non-documented. Whatever is in the user guide and on the website, that's what we have. Mostly because we're still ironing out what is it going to be with Unreal and a few other places. So we showcased it at NAB in April of last year. Wow, that's strange to say now. So April of 2022, which is a whole year ago now, is a whole last year. Anyway, we showcased it there with the assistance of some guys from Unreal Engine, and they showcased it what it would look like in a augmented reality world. So it was up and running, but it was definitely a beta product. And now that it is officially integrated with NDI5, it is an option on there, but it is listed as a beta feature. And so it's not officially supported yet. It's still, here it is, do with it what you want, but there's no official branding for it yet when it comes to implementing it across your VR or AR environments. Good morning from North Carolina. How's it going, Ken? Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Wait, why did your name come through on Facebook, but Facebook user Martin's name did not? That's weird. I'm going to have to look into that. What's going on, Balu? Happy New Year. It is a Happy New Year. Welcome to 23. Happy New Year, everyone. What's going on, GoWeb? Welcome to the new year. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm looking to do some AR graphics over the top of a live stream, but I can't find any UE or BirdDog documentation to get it working. Correct, because there is none. There is currently no documentation or tutorials or anything like that for the FreeD option. So it is what is available is what is there. Currently, there's nothing else that we have set up. So that's the limitation of it so far. Should I ditch SDI for NDI connections for the P400 camera? And do you have by chance any live footage by the P400, a church service, for example? So I don't have any footage of the P400 like at my disposal. I'm sure it's out there. But I had a P400 in here for quite a while. It works really well with the studio lighting, but I don't have any sort of P400 raw. Normally churches don't have great stage lighting. They have lighting for ambience, but they don't have it for cameras. So it's one of those, unfortunate catches where the cameras really need some solid lighting. They can't do super mood lighting all the time. Not to say that it isn't being done, and not to say that it can't be done. It is just a bit of a challenge taking broadcast cameras into a poorly lit environment. So I don't know of any footage there that I can point you towards for the P400s. I mean, this question about should I use NDI over SDI, it really comes down to more of what it is that you're doing, right? Because first of all, what's the application? So it's a church environment, and do you need the flexibility of NDI out of the camera, or is the entire infrastructure already SDI? I mean, a lot of these legacy environments are currently being used as a SDI environment, and they're slowly transitioning over to NDI. So if you have the opportunity to go to NDI, why not? Mostly because the latency between SDI and NDI can be comparable when you get down to the production side of things. Now, if you're using, the SDI out of the camera for an IMAG situation, that might be something that you consider keeping. If you're sending the P400 signal of the auditorium up to screens, you're going to want the lowest latency possible. And NDI is going to introduce latency regardless of how it is. Now, it's a lot less than other protocols, so it's really good. And the BirdDog flavor is even the best of that option because it is a high bandwidth, low latency encode function. So all the stars are aligning there, but depending on what you're using it for is always where I come back to in this equation. What are you doing? Are you streaming? Are you doing IMAG? Are you going to other parts in the building? Can you not compensate for timing? Like in an IMAG situation, there is no real compensation for that because people see what's happening on stage and they're watching the latency on the screens. So that's not always the best option necessarily to go NDI when you have the availability of going SDI. However, if you're just streaming primarily, then timing is not necessarily of the essence. You're going to have a delay going to YouTube or Facebook or whatever anyways. So that's weird. I'm having like a strange noise. You're going to have a bit of a delay anyways going to YouTube and whatever. So you can compensate for the delay in the room and add it to the delay that you're already going to get with Facebook or YouTube. And that doesn't really matter too much. So depends on what you're doing. Let me see what you said here. Conference room, well lit, and the environment is network. All of them are networked. It's a conference room, live streaming 1080p. The room is well lit. The environment is network. Okay, so yeah, then if you're streaming, then why not go NDI? Because you get it into the network and it becomes a lot more flexible over the SDI option. SDI is the go-to for a lot of broadcasters. Whoa, I had like a sneeze come on. Oh, that was weird. Whew. Anyway, so SDI is or was the standard for quite a long time, and so a lot of infrastructures are already set up for SDI. But if you're putting in a new system or you're not an SDI, you're not committed to that at all, by all means, go to NDI because it'll give you a lot more flexibility in the long run, especially because you can send that signal not only to your production place, but then around the conference building or in the hallways or to a secondary unit that you can use for other purposes or replay or whatever. There's lots of flexibility. So getting your core video into the NDI world right away may end up being quite advantageous in the end because it'll give you a lot more flexibility going forward. So good stuff. Bless you. Yeah, I almost sneezed. I don't know what happened there. Hey, Happy New Year are you back from Florida? Hopefully you had a good trip. But Happy New Year. Thanks for jumping back in. So I got time to test out the BirdDog Play. It's so easy peasy to set up and go. I'm glad that that was your experience. We've had a lot of folks that have had that experience. Of course, at the help desk, we hear of everybody's experience, or a lot of the experiences where people had trouble with it. But I'm glad to hear, GoWeb, that you had a good experience with the BirdDog Play. I know it's been sitting with you for a couple of weeks now, and you've been anxious to get that started. So I'm glad to hear that's up and running and working well. It is great. I have a BirdDog Play that runs on my confidence monitor, and it shows me a multi-viewer out from vMix, which is basically vMix again in front of me, but it's underneath the camera. So I can look towards the camera and not have to constantly be looking at all my screens to make sure that I'm within the TV safe area. I have a grid and whatever that helps me set up the shots as well. I'm not 100% convinced. So there is a 240 shot that you're going to see here next. And that 240 is just kind of up and, off to my shoulder. And the problem is that my new Falcon Eyes light is kind of right in the way. And so there's an arm that sits in front of it. And it's a little annoying that, there it is. It's a little annoying that it's right in the shot, but it's a great light. And so I'm going to leave it there. Maybe I should reposition the 240. The 240 is up in the crow's nest. That's what I was calling it before. And that's where the 110 used to be. The 110 is currently down for testing. It's with the agents, I believe, right now. So I've got a 240 in here, which is pretty sweet. And all these cameras, by the way, have all been running for a week and a half. I just left them all on. And they've all been running, and I didn't adjust anything when I walked in today. So good news on the latest firmware version is it seems to be quite stable. I don't think we had any power restarts or outages or anything like that, but good stuff. Yes, I'm back in Sweden. Well, welcome home. Happy New Year over there in Sweden. Are there any non-NDA things that you can tell us that BirdDog is hoping to release in 2023? Non-NDA items. Well, I do know that we're working on NDI 5 for converters, which is pretty exciting. I know that the converter line has been long overdue for a release, mostly for bug fixes and such, in particular Studio and Mini. As you all know, Studio is EOL, and so we are already a year into that EOL process, and it's up for another year, I believe. And so when did I make that video? Let me look and see here. When I made my video about Studio, may it rest in peace and not in pieces. Where would it be? It'd probably be here, right? Let's take a look. See if I can find the creation date of that video. I have to log in. There we go. My files. Who dat? Where is it? Support. And yoink. Where are we here? Next on stream. Background. Videos. Ah, it's not in here. Nuts. Shoot. I thought I put it in here. Twitch music. I used to run this all on Twitch exclusively, and so a lot of this stuff is named Twitch, but yeah, it's not in here. Nuts. Wonder where I put. Maybe I'd put it on YouTube. Let's check that out. Let's see if I uploaded it there. Videos, Creator Studio. Yeah, sorry about hitting the microphone, everybody. I know that was probably pretty annoyingly loud. All right, videos. And where is it? It's got to be here. Snacks on stream. A lot of snacks on stream stuff on here. Nope. Not on here either. Well, nuts. Where did I put it? That's really annoying. Sorry, folks. I'll figure that out. anyways, we are past a year of studio being end of life. And that means that we are within 1 year of it being end of service, which is crazy. But I have heard that there is a planned update for Studio and Mini before it's finished, basically completely done being updated. So hang on to that. That's what I was told. So now I do know if you were here on the last show from last year, Dan had announced that there are updates coming for the converter line, and that is, the primary thing. But Silicone 2 is also expected quite soon, and so we're waiting with bated breath as to when that announcement will happen. You may have also noticed that the BirdDog website, was migrated to a new host, and that's pretty cool. It didn't change, like the website didn't change itself, but we did migrate it to a new host. And you may see that things are a little bit faster in terms of navigating around the website. I think it's much snappier here in the US. When you click on something, it goes there right away and loads really quickly. So I don't know what they're paying, but it certainly seems to be an improvement from the previous host. So that's good news. Yoink. And let's go to support, downloads. So Silicone 2 has not been launched yet. But again, on the Thursday before we were done, Dan had said that is one of the goals for the new year was to get that out. So we're excited about that. All right, let's see what I missed here. Back from Sweden. I have 5. Sherman, what's going on? I have 5 plays showing up today. Well, that's pretty exciting. Let us know how that goes. What are you planning on using them for? With all my BirdDog Flex decoders sitting inside a rack, BirdDog became very handy and can put it to multiple uses. Going to order a couple more soon. Fantastic. Love that. vMix has a multi-viewer function that you can set up on multiple monitors. Yeah, so I am outputting the multi-viewer as an NDI stream and sending that to various places around the office. But one of those is to a BirdDog Play here in the office, which is on the network separately. But that means I can use that play and show various things and not just that multi-viewer, and it doesn't have to be connected directly to this computer. So I've already got 2 monitors here, and one of those monitors is, where are we here? One of those monitors is to show this desktop. So when we cut over to this desktop and I want to show you guys like videos and whatever, I can show it here. Also monitoring my audio output there with little Zen, what is it called? Zen monitor, no audio meter. So good stuff there. And that is my secondary monitor on this machine. Now I used to have 3. I used to run a 3rd monitor off of a GPU, and that was this screen, but I've since added that to a different machine that runs StreamYard exclusively and does some video editing for me. So I like the NDI output version. Then I can send it wherever I need it to go. Plus, this network is running in multicast, so it's not super burdensome. If I need to send it to multiple places, that seems to be all right. I'm looking forward to getting a couple of P240 cameras. We are also looking forward to that. Well done. Those are, seriously, it's a step up from the 200, which I'm really surprised, but the first guy to tell me that was Jake, and then the second guy to tell me that was Phil. And if those 2 guys say it, it is probably true. They are my camera resource guys, and Phil knows the industry, the camera industry from a previous life pretty well. And so if he says that the 240 is nicer than the 200, and the 200 is the go-to, that's that camera right there. The 200 is really like the flagship of the company. It has been for a couple of years now. And that is impressive. If the 240 outclasses the 200, I'm quite impressed with that. So get excited about this 240. Does the 240 have black level control? Oh, there's the 240 shot right there. Well, I'll do you one better here, Sherman. We will open up Studio Monitor. I'm going to go to the 240 cameras web UI. Yoink. And then we will share that. This is the 240 camera, by the way. I will share that on the secondary screen, and we can look at that together. So here is yoink. Oh, that's today's snacks on stream, everybody. Courtesy of Balu, by the way. So get excited. All right, so here is that. What I meant to show you originally is the web UI for the 240. Has the nice little picture there. We're going to go ahead and log in, and like always, super secret password. Put that in. Make that happen. Okay. And apparently I haven't saved the password. I'm not going to today. Under cam control, we are going to check some things out. So under the Gamma tab, there is some black level adjustments. And this has to do with the sensor that is on board the 240. It's a little nicer than the one that's on the 200. In particular, it gives us that actual detail, the black level detail that we so lovingly want. And so, yes, you do have black level control here. Gamma level, black level range, and you can customize that a bit. But yes, it is listed there under the Gamma settings for the P240. So there you go. And that's where you find it. If you're interested in looking for it, that is where it's at. Where are we going here? I need to get back to the chat. Follow up on question, are there any NDA things that you can't tell us about? Please list them all. Welcome to the chat, NetHab. There are NDA things, and I am not allowed to speak about them, and so I'm not allowed to say anything. There you go. Oh, and speaking of Phil, there he is. Happy New Year, Phil. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to the show. Appreciate that. With all my BirdDog Flex decoders sitting inside a rack, BirdDog Play becomes very handy and can be put on multiple use cases. Fantastic. Love it. He's going to order more. Apologies for the garbled message earlier. No worries. I think we got it. Got it. What's going on, M-Tash? Happy New Year. Happy and healthy. That's right. Or one or the other, at least, right? Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for jumping on the chat. First thing this new year. Appreciate that. The client had asked, and I didn't know. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're very welcome. You know, sharing is caring. So, all right. So we have some Warhead Minis, Extreme Sour, and then it says ages 4 and up. So I'm not super confident that these are going to be crazy doozies of warheads. My sister, before the new year was out, shipped me a whole giant bag of warheads, and they're at home. And I tried to feed them to my family over Christmas break, and nobody wanted any. So I thought that was a little strange. So we're going to compare those with these and see how indeed sour these are. But first, we need to do the snacks on stream.
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience. Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, God, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Alrighty. Time for a little snacks on stream. And today we are graced with the Extreme Sour Warheads Minis Hard Candy. Ooh, hard candy. So I haven't opened these, and yeah, we're gonna give them a go. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna open the seal on this. Appreciate Bali for dropping these off. Now, full disclosure, On Thursday, I have a snack that my sister brought at Christmas time up from Texas, and it is something Asian. It's like a bag of spicy something. So they wanted me to eat it when they were there, and I never got around to it. And then I promised them that I would eat it on the show. And then, of course, I forgot to bring it today. So today is Warheads. On Thursday, we're going to have some bag of spicy something from with a lot of Asian writing on it. So we're going to Google Translate that and figure out what it is, and then just try it. So come back for that. That will be well worth it. All right, that had an unsatisfying opening. Didn't really pop like I wanted it to. But anyways, let's get these going. So red today, which is watermelon, apparently. So here we go. Oh, don't bite them. This is for 4-year-olds? Yeah, okay. My goodness. Yeah, okay. Those are Warheads, that's for sure. Flip open top. Yeah. Okay. So far, so good. It little sour. It's kind of losing its power, but it was a little sour. I'm just curious what a flex out can or cannot do, as the BirdDog Play can do. Okay, so a flex out is a full NDI decoder with an FPGA chip inside. So it adheres to the one frame latency expectation that full NDI has. It will also, various things. It has a tally light, for example, which I don't know if flex out. It uses the tally light to for other messages, not for like on off, because it's not an encoder, it's a decoder. So but yeah, the major difference with that is it being the full NDI standard, the actual FPGA decode process. It's the full throttle, what are we saying? Sports car version of NDI, because some people use those on projectors and they use them for, in low latency situations. And so they need the speed, whereas the Play is going to have additional latency just because it's an ARM process and not an actual silicon chip based process. So I have to actually pull up my flex out. Oh, the flex out. Well, there was at one time. I guess I can't remember. I should get one in here. I don't even think we have one in the office now that I think of it. Once we had a bunch of Play show up, then I think we may have sent our flex out to an I don't know, a demo or something. I can't remember. Anyways, the camera UI is too dim to see outdoors. Is there any way to boost? So on the latest version of the web UI, there is a dark and a light mode. And let me see, what version of the firmware is this guy running? Yeah, okay, so let's have another little look-see at the... Oh, let's have another little look-see at our desktop. And here is that web UI again. And right here at the bottom under System, you scroll down to the UI mode, you can change it to a bright background. And this is light mode, essentially, because everything's got to have a light and a dark mode. So you can change it to light mode, and now everything is bright. And hopefully will help a little bit more in the sunlight. Now, I can't do anything about the quality of your monitor. If you're using them outside and the monitor, you can't see very much on the monitor, that you may be out of luck. But that's how you would do that there. Where are we here? Give me a second here. Something's... Oh, I see. Whenever I transition to this screen, it should play this sound effect. My Seinfeld transition. So, yeah, that's there is a light mode coming to on the latest NDI 5 version. And if we look here, what version am I running? 7.4 maybe? 7.3. So let's pull up the BirdDog website, birddog.tv/downloads. Look how snappy that is. Look at that. All quick. So the 240 is the one that I'm on right now. If I just click, whoops, I clicked user guide. My bad. Wait, where did our firmware update go for this? Oh, well, anyways, let's check this one. I can get you the firmware update for the 240 since it's not posted here. 6.4 is the latest. So there should be an update coming soon that will enable that. That's one of those sneaky features that Dan actually, I'm not breaking any NDA rules here because Dan posted it on Facebook under a comment for somebody. So there you go. But it's here at the bottom. UI mode. So you can switch between dark mode and light mode. Me personally, I like dark mode because it's easier on my old eyeballs. But yeah, there you go. Good times. Hopefully that's helpful. Is it true that full NDI can be as low as 16 lines of latency per slice? I've heard that. I haven't seen that. But not that that it hasn't been proven to me, is that I haven't looked. There are some things I just don't have time for. But yes, I have heard that is a rumor that may be true. December end of last year, there were a lot of firmware updates for different BirdDog devices. Do you want to shed more light on these updates? Yeah, so most of them were stability updates, to be honest with you. I can do you a solid here and go to the Facebook page, because that's where a lot of them were announced, eh? But am I even logged into Facebook here? No, I'm not. Let's do this instead. Twitter. Hey, that watermelon was pretty good. BirdDog. What is it called? BirdDog Gear? BirdDog Gear. Here it is. All right, don't turn on notifications. All right, so yes, let's talk about some of these announcements because there were a lot. You are correct. Yoink. Where is the one where he posted like all of them? Who's that? Oh, that's Dan. Okay. So one of the big announcements was that OG4 is relaunching. And so I know that they have been around, that's been on the website for quite a while, but we were waiting on getting a firmware done so that we could finish that up. So sorry, I've moved the mouse here. So here is OG4 was basically launched right before the end of the year. This was posted on December 20th, and there was a firmware release for it as well. So I think we're up to like 110, I think, on that firmware. But I have one of these here at the office, actually, and it's pretty stable. We had gone back and forth a little bit with engineering about interlaced being an issue, but it turns out that it's not an OG4 issue. It's not an interlaced issue. It's actually something else going on that we're fixing with the NDI5 update for cameras. And so it's kind of a weird situation, but the OG4 card is functional and I can prove that it works here in the office. Now, one thing that you need to be really careful about here with OG4 is these ports are intended, this one right here is a 10 gig SFP plus port. It is not intended to be used with a 1.25 RJ45 SFP module. It's really designed for fiber connection. So you can use the Ethernet on the chassis of the Ross Video dash or Ross Video chassis, which there are two brands of, there are three Ethernet jacks that you can pick from. We support two of them, and one of them is not supported. So contact help@birddog.tv if you want to know more about that. But you can set the unit to operate over Ethernet, or you can set it to operate over SFP 10 gig. When you switch it to the SFP port, to this one, right, oh, you can't see my cursor. That's annoying. When you switch it to that one on the right that says 10 gig, it's expected that you're using a SFP plus module for fiber that can run multi-mode or single mode. Preferably, well, whatever. The ones we use here are LC mod. So be very careful when you can't just plug this into an Ethernet SFP unit and plug that into an Ethernet port on your Switch. That's not going to work. That's not going to work like you want it to, or we're not going to recommend you do that. So there, I've said it. But yeah, this relaunched, and there are a lot of these chassis around the world, so that's pretty exciting to finally have that up and running and working. Quad has a new firmware. This is another LTS firmware. It does actually say here on Twitter that it is final release. It's an update for LTS. It's not the final firmware for Quad, but it is a firmware update for the LTS version of Quad. So it's quite stable, and it goes kind of hand in hand with OG4 because they are similar platforms, those two products. Multiviewer for Mac is now available, which has been a long-awaited launch. A lot of people are using Multiviewer like on Parallels on their Mac. Well, now you don't have to do that. It runs natively on Mac. Let's get another one of these. I want a blue one this time. Whoops. So it runs natively on Mac. And the greatest thing about this is, which I discussed with Senseless this morning, if you already have a license for Multiviewer and you're using it on a PC, but you would prefer to run it in your Mac shop, that license, you can deactivate it on the PC and activate it on the Mac. You can use the same license for either platform. It's the same licensing server that manages this software. Wonderful. It makes life a lot easier to support, to be quite honest with you. Just have one licensing server and not having this constant conversation of, oh, well, I was using it on a PC, but I switched over to Mac and now it's not working. You know, if you deactivate the license, you can activate it then on a Mac platform. It's the same licensing server. One licensing server to rule them all. Cue Lord of the Rings, which I do not have any sound bites. So I got to fix that. So Multiviewer has launched for Mac, and I've used it on my Mac in my office. Works pretty well. So that's kind of fun. Dino had a facelift. This has been retweeted by a corporation, but Dino had a facelift and has been worked on fairly significantly over the last, well, let's say 4 to 6 weeks. And so if the update hasn't come out, when was this? April 5th. Yeah, I think there's an update pending for Dino. That's a stability update, so that's exciting. Yep, there it is. OG there. So us retweeting the marker tech. It's on the Facebook page that it's all those things are posted. So I'll look here. Facebook.com/ let's do this instead. Or I could just look it up on my phone, I guess. I'm not going to be able to share the website, but that's fine. If you really want to see it, or if you have any questions, throw them in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them there about products that were updated or launched at the end of the year. BirdDog, yada, yada. Oh, that's cool. It says we're currently live, which we are. Here we are. We did win a Reader's Choice Award, the P1-10120 for PTZ or network-controlled camera. The 120 won that award, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty... Well, I can do that here.
That's pretty neat.
Just looking through the posts. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, Quad had an update. Play had a firmware update. So if you have a BirdDog Play, go ahead and get that updated. The update for that, let me get the notes here because that should be, it's important that I'm going to have. So this blue one is Blue Raspberry, which I'm anxious. I love me some Blue Raspberry. Anxious to give that a go. All right, so here, back to the AV section. Downloads. Starts off sour. Okay, 1.3 is the latest. Yeah. So if we download this, take me 21 seconds or less. So we're going to, the playlist is underway. So I'm going to download that and open it whenever it happens to be ready. Okay. All right, you can open anytime you're ready there, Chrome. Oh, boy. Show in folder. Come on. Well, this isn't good. It, like, paused right at the end of the download. Here, let me just open this instead. Okay, downloads, BirdDog Play, 1.3. No, I don't want to buy WinZip or whatever this is. Okay, so the release notes for 1.3 show HDMI audio is now working correctly. That was the fix from 1.1. But in 1.1, or 11, if you're so inclined, that fix was a big one because it fixed the static mode that wasn't working. So if you set the unit in static, it wouldn't save it, or it just wouldn't take it, or something like that. So it had to run in DHCP. So now static works if you are breaking my cardinal rules and using static on your network. That is working. They added the audio support AAC codec, so that's pretty cool. I know that a lot of people are using AAC, so there you go. Added renegotiation of HDMI display EDID when switching monitors. Added a QR code that is now shown on the display, and when scanned will open the Play Quick Start Guide. That's kind of a nice little handy feature to have when you're first getting going. Play Screensaver no longer automatically displays when NDI screen capture output is at low frame rate. So there's an issue with when you had a low frame rate. So screen capture outputs frames when things are happening on the screen. And why isn't this cycling? Okay, so when things are happening on your screen, screen capture then has a refresh rate. But if nothing's happening on the screen, the frame rate is 0. And that's a problem for BirdDog stuff because we're expecting these 60 or 30 frames at all times. So now when you switch it to low frame rate, or if it has a low frame rate, then it would switch to the screensaver because there were no frames coming in. So they figured out how to fix that. The known limitation though with the Play is the 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Currently not operational, and we will be fixing that and releasing that in a future firmware update. I don't have a timeline for that yet. The HDMI audio is working, but the audio jack output is not working yet. So heads up there, everybody. That is a known limitation and is listed in the release notes, so I'm not breaking any rules here telling you that information. Do the SFP ports support direct attach cables? I.e. the module and cable are in one piece. I actually have a couple of those. They're integrated across some of my switches that are right next to each other. I could test that for you, NetHab. I don't know. Perhaps. They really need to be 10 gig because when you switch it to 10, or when you switch it to SFP, the unit assumes then that you're using 10 gigs. So as long as they're 10 gig capable, I guess. But I haven't tested it. In theory, it should work, but I haven't tested it personally, so I can't say yay or nay. Where can we download the Mac version without making a new purchase? You can contact help@birddog.tv. We can give you that link. That sound is too high if you're listening over headphones. Oh, the Seinfeld transition? I can change that for you. Thanks for letting me know. What about the rest of my sound effects? Because they're all running at 100%. Like if I...
Excellent.
Yeah, okay, that seems a little less. So I'll keep an eye on that when I transition back. Thanks for letting me know. Go Web. Always looking out for me. Appreciate that. All right. We're there's only one person in here that'll know that reference. We are 9 minutes out from the 1 hour show being over, and I don't mind going over. I tried to start a little bit earlier today just so that make sure we get the full hour at least. But there is a lot going on out there, and 23 is going to be a busy year. So we're trying to get everything lined up. It's day one. If you've submitted a ticket, please give us a couple of days to kind of catch up. Hopefully you, if it's urgent, please update the ticket again. It'll pop to the top of the list, and my guys can try and take a look at that. But we are working through that pile of tickets that came in over break, and we promise you we will get back to you. So hang in there. There are also a couple of ways that you can get in touch with the help desk these days. Of course, the tried and true help@birddog.tv will open a ticket for you, and we can definitely give you a hand there, send you links or videos or whatever that can help you fix whatever issues that you're experiencing. I've got a team of people that are handling that, so good stuff there. But you can also ask for support on Twitter over at help_BirdDogTV. That is a Twitter account that I control. That feeds our help desk. It technically generates a ticket, but we can respond to you directly onto Twitter there, and any of my agents can do that. So that also feeds into the help desk. So we're here usually between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, with the exception of this Monday. We are usually here most days, so we can definitely give you a hand. If you like Twitter more than email, by all means, shoot us a message there. We can reply directly there or send you a DM. So if the explanation is longer or we got to send you links or whatever, we can hook you up there. So, of course, by all means, come back Tuesday, Thursdays from 11 to 12 here Eastern time in the U.S., right at birddogjohn.tv. And we can chat through any issues that you have here live in the chat. That's the whole point. We love to chat with you and talk with you about whatever it is that you're dealing with. So this is one of those avenues. This is one of the things that makes BirdDog, I think, a little bit unique in the industry, is we like to talk directly with you. And so this is a great place to do that and for other people to learn. So good stuff. Hey, does the place support non-standard TV output resolution, specifically 1280 by 800? No, currently not. It is a SMPTE resolution output, so 1920 by 1080, or what is it? 12. It's not 1280, is it? Dang it! I just had a total brain fart. 720. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but no, non-standard resolutions are currently not supported across all BirdDog products, by the way. You need to be sending it a 1080 output, from what I can tell. Now, granted, I don't have a non-standard TV in the office, but all of mine are 1080 or 720, so they are working on that. Hey, John, we love our cameras and have so many great streams in a theater setting. Hey, you guys are great. Thanks for being awesome. Well, that is quite the compliment. Shout out to BirdDog and its crew. Our friend here on Facebook is using several of our cameras and really likes them. Says that you guys are great, which I don't know what we did to deserve that. And thanks for being awesome, which is also that's like a double compliment. So, wow, way to start the year off right. Thank you very much, Facebook user. And I will actually call you by name. Laura, thank you so much. 1280 by 720. Thank you, Gary. My bad. Thank you very much for those kind words, Laura. I really appreciate that. Do you have any kind of resolutions for 2023? If you want to share, we're all ears. Yes. My resolution is to convert as many people as possible away from interlaced and onto progressive. Progressive 2023. That is the way of it. I posted that on my Instagram, my BirdDog Instagram. I said, this year resolved to use progressive and not interlaced. Hey, we just got a new P240. Excellent. You're going to love it. If you're used to the 200, you're going to love the 240. 240 is, as the kids say, the bee's knees. I don't think any kid has said that in 30 years. Hey, Happy New Year. Who needs a demo? What's going on, Ian? It is the man, the myth, the legend, BirdDog Ian Foster, everybody. Welcome to the show, my friend. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Take care of yourself, my friend, out there in the great western United States. And 3840 by 2160. Yeah, so it does do 4K resolutions. I should have spoken accurately. Thank you, NetHab. Always trust NetHab to make sure I'm accurate in my speech, which I greatly appreciate, by the way. No joke. Jeremy, Happy New Year, man. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate that big time. Always good to be with you, man. Hey, we use 2997p and love it. That's the way it should be done. 30 frames progressive, always good. That now, Laura, you use that through your theater production, you said? Cool stuff. I'm just stopping by. Always a pleasure. You're stopping by just in time. So here's the thing about these different flavors. So I'm eating Warheads for snacks on the stream today, supplied by none other Balu, and it's a little flip up top extreme sour minis. They start off at kind of extreme. They're not quite as powerful as those larger ones that my sister bought me at Christmas time, but these ones are good. They are definitely a mini version of the Warhead, of the tried and true. They start off super sour, but then they go really sweet. Here's the thing about green apple. Green apple always makes me cough, and thus is the one I'm about to eat. So we shall see if it has the same effect. What's that converter next to you by your mic stand? This one? This is the BirdDog Mini. And this is a box. Not a converter at all. This is the BirdDog Mini, though. And this is the one that I use demos on. Came in from a ticket. And I hope it didn't need to go back. I'm pretty sure it doesn't need to go back. I'll look up the ticket, but I'm quite certain it's here for a reason. It's one that I do demos on and showcase here, along with the studio, which has mysteriously gone. Oh, it's in my office. It's actually running in my office. The studio that I used to make the Rest in Peace studio video, which has been a while since I've shown. I should show that here. It's been a while. It's still alive and kicking. It's not actually dead. It looks like a KiloView. It is not. I do not have any KiloViews in my office. I have a Dante AVIO unit. I have a Stream Deck and an X Keys. I have a Behringer UMC 404 HD audio interface, a Mini, a remote control for my TVs. I think that's it. That reminds me, I should totally show the Rest in Peace for old time's sake. Let's see. Let's see if I can find that video. Is it still in here? If it is, I'm totally going to show it. Yes, it is. Let's take a moment, folks, and remember our old faithful. Okay, so officially not 1 year, January 18th. So what day will that be? Yes, folks, it is true. It's been almost a year since we announced the end of life for our friend studio. And while I was off camera there for a second, I finished the green apple Warhead, which did not make me cough. And then I had another watermelon, just because that's what I grabbed. And then I thought, this isn't really doing it. These aren't really as powerful as I kind of want them to be. And so I thought, why not change it up a little bit and go with like multiples. And so I've got 6 of these yellow ones, which appear to be lemon. And we're going to give them a try. So we'll go 6 all at once. Why not? And see how that goes. So here we go. Wish me luck. Oh boy. Oh. Yeah. All right. Mm. Okay. Oh, good golly. Yeah. Oh, that's how it's done, folks. Um, definitely, definitely multiples will do it. That's more like the ones that my sister sent me. I think I just like destroyed my tongue. Tongue is definitely like tingling right now. Yep, it was a BirdDog Mini. That music makes me cry. Yep. It was a sad day, January 18th. Hmm. I like break a tooth eating these things, which shouldn't surprise anyone because I break teeth all the time eating candy, actually. So, right on par. Yeah, so, oh, okay, good. They kind of taste like, or they're the same texture as broken teeth. So, yeah, fun. If one doesn't crunch, I'll know I'm screwed. So I should circle back here with Ian. So Ian is out on the West Coast in the US, and he is one of our sales engineers. And if you are here in the US, what Ian, anywhere from how far over will you go? The Dakotas? Um yeah, if you need to see a product demoed or if you need to talk to somebody about products being, like how you integrate products across platforms or potential, oh man, that was a lot of sour. Talking about how our products might be the solution for what it is you're trying to do, you need to look up a guy like Ian because they've got experience in the field already prior to BirdDog. They know our product line really well. They know how things should work together and how they can kind of flow, and then also provide you with, scope and who you can buy from. They can put you in touch with retailers, people that we trust to sell our products, and a great resource to have. And the pre-sales team, including Ian, can be found at hello@birddog.tv. So if you have any pre-sales questions, you want to hey, I want to know more about this, or John doesn't seem to know what he's talking about. Can you guys help me? This is a great email to send a message to and ask for some assistance. This is pre-sales, and pre-sales will be happy to get in touch with you and kind of walk through what it is that you are thinking about trying to do. So, great guys over there. And we have people all over the world. So not just Ian over on the West Coast. We've got guys on the East Coast. We've got guys in the South. We've got some guys here in the North. And all over the States. Guys that cover Canada. Guys that will cover South America. We've got somebody that, a whole team of guys now that cover Europe, UK, the EU, and so on and so forth. We've got a guy over in Asia, kind of covering several of those Asia provinces and countries. And so, yeah, we've got people everywhere, even in Australia. So if you're wherever you are, we've got somebody that you can chat with in your time zone, not just waiting for Eastern time here at 11 o'clock to chat with me. But yeah, we've got somebody local in your time zone that will probably be able to, within a couple of hours, that will be able to answer your questions and help you out. So hit up the guys at hello@birddog.tv if you're looking for information on our product line and how it would integrate across your plans and maybe how BirdDog can be the solution. Because great free resource. They don't bill you for having an email with them. So yeah, reach out to them with your questions. It's a good group of guys and great guys to work with. I work with them every day. Really straightforward, really good team. Here's something I discovered that I didn't think I would actually enjoy, but I oddly do. What's it called? Let me see here. So over break, my my daughter and I, my daughter's 8, and she and I like to play video games. Well, I saw that this game was super cheap on Steam this past week. It was on the holiday sale or whatever. And I've always heard people playing it. I've seen it being played on Facebook and Twitch and whatever. And I was like, I do not get it. I don't understand what the fascination would be about doing this on your computer as a game. And so it was like less than $5. And I was like, all right, I'm going to buy it. This game is none other than American Truck Simulator. And yeah, I totally started playing this game, and I could see why people would like to play it. There are dudes on Twitch and whatever that play this game, and they have like full on like truck simulator like cabs. They got the wheel, they got the big shifter, they got like buttons for horns and like all. I'm not going there. I just want to see what this game was all about, and it's all right actually. There's some challenge to it, and I do like that you're not required to drive in real time. Time is sped up, and so the distances are a lot shorter than spending 4 hours a day driving one route. But it's an interesting game, that's for sure. I'm tempted to hook up. So I have an airplane yoke because I used to play X-Plane 11 a lot. And so I'm tempted to plug that in and see if that would work as a steering wheel, because it's a little weird doing the WADS commands for steering left and right, because you click it and then he like keeps like jerking around the road. So I need something a little smoother that can give me those options. But American Truck Simulator, yeah, it is an interesting game to say the least. And I can't really figure out like how to really make a lot of money, which maybe is like accurate for truck drivers. But yeah, I played that for a couple of days. That was fun. I also more productively started playing around more with Ableton Live, if you know what that program is. So Ableton Live is used with a lot of like DJs and music makers and filmmakers and whatever. Share this tab. So it looks like this. This is what Ableton Live looks like. I don't know what this guy's doing. Anyways, but you can compose music, basically. And I have some friends who do some music stuff. And so, including my wife. And so, yeah, what the, you're using a pencil mic? That's weird. Anyways, I've got the equipment for microphones and headphones and all this. Actually, I need another pair of headphones. But this thing is really neat because you can do a whole lot. And I think the first Ableton Lite, or what's it called? Let's find out. Yeah, Ableton Live Intro. This is the one that I have, and it's like $80. And it does pretty much everything I need it to do like multi-track stuff. So I have also found out that this software is what a lot of churches use to automate their slides and lights and background tracks and a bunch of things. So if you have a band but it's not very big and you want to have other tracks being played, you can use MIDI functions and fire different sequences inside Ableton Live to like play songs, and you like play over them or sing over them, whatever. So like church worship leaders and whatever, they use Ableton Live for that function, which means that if you can automate it over MIDI, and you can automate Pro Presenter, for example, over MIDI to fire new slides and whatever, yeah, then you can automate your whole service. And that's really cool, because then I wonder, maybe there's a way to automate MIDIs to call presets for cameras, because that would be super helpful too. So I'm kind of looking into that a little bit with work related, some of it with music related. But we did do a little recording over the break, and that was fun. The first day was just like getting used to Ableton Live, and then the second day, once we had kind of figured it all out, then we started actually recording stuff. So it was fun, good times. Didn't you do the train version? No, I used to play. What was the train version? The train game on here. There is a train game that I did play, but now I can't remember what it was called. But it wasn't driving trains. It was like setting it. Well, yeah, it was like making a transportation company type of thing. I introduced Sanaya to some retro games like Super Mario. She liked that more than any other computer games now, right? Those things are timeless, man. The challenge is still there. I was playing the Super NES Donkey Kong Country 2 for like half of the break. It was great. It was like what I did to veg out. And on Nintendo Switch, you can play all those games. And they definitely give you an option to save, whereas before you died every time and had to go back. And so it's a lot better if you can save the game and then try the section of the game that you are terrible at. You get a lot further. So it's great. Anyways, good times. I'm still eating these yellow warheads. They're not sour anymore, though, thankfully. If you want automation, I would use the Multitracks player. It has all the native integration with MIDI and Pro Presenter. You can download the song lyrics and backing tracks directly, adjust the song key, and has a much better user interface. We use Multitrack Player. I've heard of this one. Yeah, I've heard of this. I just know a lot of churches that are using Ableton, so I guess maybe that's the one that I took a look at. Are the songs for purchase, or what's the story there? Let's see here. Cool. Pro Presenter templates, playback for Mac. The power of playback now on your Mac. Download playback. Where are we here? This is what I really want to know. Boo. Monthly. Boo. Let me buy it one time. Let me just buy it once. I don't want to pay monthly. I feel like I remember this gig. And part of the reason was with Ableton, you can just buy it. And it's not a monthly pricing thing. Playback rentals. Rent high quality multi-tracks directly in playback. Oh, subscription service. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. I think I get it. But interesting. Split the tracks into separate Dante channels into your board. Oh, interesting. I know Ableton will send tracks, like you can output it however you want, which is nice. So, hey, Happy New Year, Jake. What's going on? Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate that. Happy and a healthy one. To you and your friends, Go Web. People who use Ableton download the tracks from Multitracks so much. They made their own player. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's I think that's where I heard it from, was that guys that were using Ableton said you can go to Multitrack and like either just buy individual songs, or so if we do like songs, we pick one. Whoa. This is intro, verse. What is this? Turnaround, verse, chorus, turnaround, verse, chorus, turnaround. Jeez. Multitrack starting at $31. Oof. It would take you a while to build up your library. Eh? What I do like about Ableton is you can make your own tracks. Like, You could have the band record their own stuff, or you could record a song. Anyways, there's so many options. I was like, I should check this thing out, and then it turns out, yeah, it's like super versatile, and there seems to be a lot of potential there. So we need to do something better on the weekends where I'm at, because the Sunday was a disaster, and mostly just because things that were out of our control, with power outages and whatever. It would be great to just have things like everything automated and just run it through one place, but that's a pipe dream. That is a pipe dream right now. But, whatever. Okay, it is 20 after 12, and so I am actually going to stop the first show after about an hour. I think that's been a good run, and hopefully you guys have found some benefit. Excited that the new year is underway and BirdDog is up and at it. So really looking forward to it. It'll be a good year. Remember, on Thursday, we're going to talk about the Netgear GS 305 EPP switch, which is a 5-port, 120-watt PoE Plus switch. We have one here in the office that we've kind of been messing around with. We're just going to take a look at the user interface. We're going to compare it to the 4250. We're going to compare prices. We're going to look them all up, whatever, and just talk about brass tacks mostly. Just see what it can do. I'm not too sure if I want to stress test it live on the show, but maybe that might be worth it. And yeah, we'll at least give you a chance to see it, see what's going on, and maybe it might be an option if you, depending on what it is that you're up to. I'm not going to recommend it right now. Well, let's talk about it on Thursday, and we'll do that. But don't forget, on Thursday we will be having another show at 11 o'clock Eastern time. We'll spend some time talking about that switch. In the meantime, if you have questions or whatever, our office is now open. Please feel free to hit us up at help@birddog.tv. That will open a ticket, and you can certainly chat with us through there if you have any sort of NDI questions. Also, don't forget, we are over on Twitter. If you want to just tweet at us, if you're on a job site or something like that, you need to shoot off a quick message. You don't have time to open your email and yada, yada, yada. You just want to tweet at us at help_BirdDogTV. And that also feeds our help desk, which is open from 9 to 5 Eastern time here in the U.S., and my team will work through that. So feel free to reach out to us at either of those places. Like I mentioned before, the pre-sales team is over at hello@birddog.tv. So if you don't have any BirdDog products yet, but you want to know, like, maybe will this work for me in my environment, by all means, reach out to us over at Hello. There's a whole team of guys that are at that address, and they'll certainly route your question to the appropriate person and get you an answer that you're looking for. So hit them up at hello@birddog.tv. They're a good group of guys over there. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, folks. It has been a crazy break, and now we are off to a solid start in 2023. We've got some fun things planned over the next few weeks, and we definitely need to get an Australian show going on here, maybe a Wednesday afternoon there, Thursday morning, just to have a chance to chat live with them, and we'll see how that works out. One thing I was going to mention is we are actually going to be closed on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which I believe is the 16th this year. So January the 16th, the office is closed. It won't interrupt our shows at all, unless for some reason I have travel woes. But I will be out of the country after the show on the 12th. And then I'll be out for Friday, Saturday, Sunday traveling, and back on Monday, traveling home on Monday, and then Tuesday we'll be back in the office. So we shouldn't miss any shows, but we definitely will probably, the support office is closed on the 16th to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is a federal holiday here in the U.S. So just a heads up, just so that you're aware of that going forward. Don't want you to be submitting tickets that weekend and wondering where everybody is. So there you go. We'll start announcing these things and making sure that you are aware of what's going on. And yeah, we'll definitely plan to see you as well, Go Web, on Thursday. Take care of yourselves over the next couple of days. Have a good night over there, and we will chat again soon. For the rest of you, take care of yourselves, be well, and take care of each other. We will definitely see you again soon. And let me make sure I can figure out where I'm going here from here. Okay. And yes, we will 100% plan to see you again in a couple of days on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Take care of yourselves, guys. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Still here. I meant to click this video, and that definitely didn't work. Let's try that again. Take care.
Kids, you tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is never try.